done it for me. Tobechuku, Ndi Jehovah, Tobechuku, Tobechuku, He has done it for me. Is that your testimony? Listen.
My name is Reverend Father Mark Obogu, Nwoko. I was born 1973, 25th April, into the family of late Prince and Mrs. Anthony Nwoko, Prince of the royal family of Idumujugboko, Nwoko family. Then in the family of about 8, I happened to be the 4th child. Yeah, being 50, sounds like, it looks like you just realize you are becoming mature, more reasonable. A lot of things don't bother you anymore. Because in Nigeria now, when you attain a certain level, 40, 50, 70, you thank God for it. So I think I'm one of those who has really benefited from God's graciousness and benevolence. So I thank God for it. I feel very happy. I grew up in a home where I was a lone man because I don't talk much. And then by the grace of God, growing up was fun because I was privileged to grow very close to my mom. I work closely with my mom. Among my siblings, I was groomed in the kitchen. And then in house chores, a lot of things I know today, I learned from my mom. The good things I know today. So I was privileged to be trained by my mom and then lived in my home, never went anywhere, never stayed with anybody until I finished WAEC in 1991. At around 91, 92, thereabouts, I had to go live with very Reverend Father Jude before I took on anybody. For this, I don't think I have any of such special thing as such because I was always on the calm side. I just mind my business, face my studies and go to school, come back, help my mom for her chores and every other thing she has to do. And so in the school I was this calm, very quiet, but all I know is that I was smart, growing up smart. So most of the times in the class, of course, though I was a little bit noisy, because when I know some of the answers, I keep quiet and I try to, play around. But whenever they ask me anything, I answer them. And I think that is all. I don't even know. If you ask me, I don't even know. I just found myself writing an application to go to the seminary. My dad never supported me, my mom never supported me. And while in school, I belong to this set where everybody wants to be a professional in one field or the other. So we always have this discussion, and then I had that at the back of my mind. So I would say that as a young boy in St. John's then, serving at Mass, and after serving at Mass, when I finished WAEC, they stopped us. They said, when you finish WAEC, you stop. And then I now joined Pages of the Blessed Sacrament. I became the secretary. To that point, I now became their president. And then remember that same year I wrote WAEC, I got my WAEC. Now, but something happened. While my dad was pushing for me to gain admission, I actually didn't even understand what was going on because all the things he was telling me, I was not even understanding them. So the very year I took a decision, let me say, I was also influenced by not just serving at Mass, but seeing Nwoko, a very wonderful priest that we all envy and look up to. And then staying with Father Jude too, I also got some level of inspiration. So when I decided to go to seminary, nobody pushed me. So I remember when I told my parents how my dad shouted and tried to shut me down. So that's how I went, submitted my application, and I went to the vocation director, then Reverend Father Paul Ifadi. And he was not too happy with me because he was very close to Father Jude, and he said you would have submitted this thing earlier than every other person. But I said no, that this is the time I want to go. So that was how I was the last to submit application. And meanwhile, the interview will be the next day. So I made it to the interview, and that's how I was taken by Bishop Bucci to go to the seminary, and then that is all. I wanted to study engineering. I had two things in mind, to be a pilot and also to do mechanical engineering. These are two things I had in mind. But being a pilot was one thing I cherished so much, that I wanted to be a pilot, to fly plane, carrying people. And then when you come down, they look at you with so much respect for flying this object up and bringing it down. You know, traveling around countries and the rest of them. I've always prayed to God for long life, long healthy years, because at a point in my life, much younger, I had some health challenges and I didn't even know I would get up to this age. But I thank God that I'm strong enough and healthy enough to celebrate. And I wish God grants me the grace of many more healthy years as He pleases Him. And then looking ahead also what the future holds, I think I'm open to God's will. While at the same time, I have my own will too, but I pray that my will aligns with God's will. So, you know, I just pray God continues to lead me. He has always led me. Thank God for the gift of life. Thank God for my family, my mother late now, my father late. I thank God for all those who helped to form me. Even at times I want to refuse, but I still appreciate them because I feel they have added so much value to my life. I appreciate them. They are too numerous to be mentioned. Too numerous to be mentioned. Those who have also put up this celebration together, this birthday celebration, a lot of persons have committed their money, you know, to this celebration. I appreciate all of them. The committee members appreciate all of them. My parishioners appreciate all of them. Places I've worked in the past. All of them have worked, places I've worked in the past. We talk of course, from the time of being a clergy, St. Patrick's West End, I appreciate them. We talk of St. Dominic's Owa, I appreciate them. We talk of St. Monica's Ibuzo. We talk of Immaculate Conception Ishego. We talk of St. Bridget's Asaba. Then you talk of St. James Blokiti, and of course, St. Paul Ugbolu, and then coming down here again to St. Columba. Very wonderful people I've met. Very wonderful people I've met. You know, not everybody will love you or like you. But all those who have taken time to really see the good in you, even when they hear a lot of bad things about you too, they still see the good things in you. I appreciate all of them. They've all been very wonderful. I don't have any much thing to say than just continue to believe in God for everything. Believe in God for everything. That's all I will say. Believe in God for everything. God knows how it is.